and welcome. This is my video to the article about Kyusho and the myth about Kyusho and people not thinking this is working. So the things I wrote in my article was about, there was 4 key aspects concerning how to activate a Kyusho point. The first being the location. If you can't find the spot, you obviously can't hit anything. So accuracy is the key foremost. The second thing is the direction. If you don't have the correct angle to attack the point, you won't hit. You won't have the desired effect also. The third is the method, execution of your attack to stimulating the nerve or whatever you're stimulating. You have to. You can't, if I have a nerve here, you can't attack it with a soft palm, you have to strike it with a harder surface, and I will show this to the point called long 5 later. The fourth and last thing is intent. If I don't have the intent to go through and hurt him, I can't do this technique properly. So I have to be willingly to hurt him, and that's why we also restore each other afterwards. Okay, so here we have an arm. And we're going to look at the spot called long 5, and we see here goes a nerve along this side of the arm, and we have the spot called long 5 right here. In the acupuncture books, long 5 is said to be right here, but when concerning Kyusho we strike here. And you can see first I have to locate the spot. If I press anything here, nothing really happens, but if I go straight down here, he can feel a little pain and he will start to bend. There's a little accompany here. So this was the location. If I want to find the angle, straight down here. So if I push down and I pull it with my thumb, he should feel much bigger difference here. And of course if I strike it, the effect will be much bigger. We also have the method of execution. Of course the thumb, I won't use this in a fight. I would use my forearm, this knuckle here. We can see this one. I will grind this down into the point and I will turn my hand like this, and the effect will also gain, and I'll show this later. The intent will be like slapping a dead fish through with the arm. Okay, so we have this point here just to show that the angle is this way. I want to attack with my bone here. I have the position here, so you can see the effect. I take my thumb in, pull it here, and I have a bigger effect. And if I want to strike this, I also have this here, because either his arm, if he's just relaxed, you can't really see that I have any effects on my strike. So I will have this to show you that the effect is. Of course, I don't want to hurt him too much. I said that the intent has to do with it, but I'll need this arm for later also. So I just give him a slight tap here, and I want to see the effect. We just touch slightly. It was a small buckle in his knees. If I strike a little harder and use my body, oh, sorry. Okay. You can see that the effect is much bigger. And I use what, like 5 or 10% of my strength? Yeah, about 5 or 10% maybe. And of course, if I did like this, sure, I could do this, but his arm might be heavily damaged. So I won't do this this time. But you saw the effect. To increase this effect, you can, instead of just striking here, you can also pull it, so that this force, this arm will go up and my knuckle will go down. So I'm grinding this into each other. Okay. So this is the normal Kyusho training, which is heavily criticized because we're very stationary, and this is for summertime, so he's not wearing a jacket. And I heard this criticism also concerning that that if you have a huge winter jacket, this won't work. And I will show that in a minute that this can work if he's wearing a heavily padded jacket. Okay, so here we have Alexander, and I've put some clothes on him. He has a t-shirt, he has a large wooden or cotton, and he has another sweatshirt here, so he's kind of padded. and I also make him wearing a jacket. So this is for the very cold Denmark we have. It's about minus 10 degrees, not that cold, but I did put some clothes on so we can see that striking this point will still have effect while he's heavily padded. Okay, so we have a potential mugger here, and he's wearing a lot of clothes. So it's supposedly to the myth it would be hard to strike against this point. But let's say we take the static move this time and we make it more movable later on. So I have this point still here, and I can almost not press it here. It's kind of hard, but I just strike a little bit harder to emphasize that he's still wearing a lot of clothes. So I have to strike a little harder here. Okay. Okay, so you saw the effect. The effect was still there. I just struck a little bit. A moving technique we have. Oh, I made this. This is actually a move that Carsten Dam from Kyusho, Denmark, he made, and I just added a strike to long 5. So if he's holding my wrist here, potentially he might be left-handed, he wants to strike me, I just attack pericardium 6 or from the inside here to release his wrist. I come to the outside here, turn his arm a little bit, and I have long 5 here. So now I also stretch the nerve and I can strike down here. Just turn around for a better view of the camera angle. So if he has my arm here, I go like this, out here, and strike down here. And now I showed left-handed, so now we are showing he's right-handed. He might have grabbed me like this, and he turns to threaten me out like this. So he has me, and I'm like, whoa, no, don't hit me, okay? So I talked about stretching the arm before. This can be done by a shot to the head. If his arm is bended here, he's close, I just shoot my arm up. You can see how his arm will straighten out. So I get from this, I get this effect. Instead of pulling with my arm, I get it from his head. So I attack his head, and I come down here. Potentially his head might come into mine, so I will check while striking down here to check his head. Okay, so he's like mugging me, and he has his arm up here to threaten me, and I'm like, hey, don't do this, okay? And I stretch his head, and I go down like this. Of course now he lost his grip on me, but you can still see it hurt a bit, and you can see how he lost his connection. So if we're going to do this one time more, I'm going out like this, straight out here, and I have him to this side. I can take him down here, I can go around here, whatever. I have his head, boom, I have total control over him. So this was it. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you think I cheated you. Tell me if Kyusho is scam, or tell me what you think about my moves here. Just write anything you want. Thank you for watching, and thank you to Alexander for sharing his arms with me. Thank you.